What's up with everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the KTB podcast. And today, I am your host, Buzzy. It is a Brawl Stars episode, talk about the Brawl Talk. And I'm here with I shouldn't say semi, very, very low, microscopic
What?
tier celebrity guest.
Oh
Alex.
no. You see, KTV. If you're watching, I know you're watching. I am not. No, I am not what he described me. This peasant by the name of Buzzboy, bitch boy Buzzin. He does not know my superiority. I will rise. Trust me.
Whatever. So, uh, as you all know, the Brawl Talk came out on Saturday, season 13, new Brawl Pass, all that. And it left a little bit of a sour taste in people's mouths, I would say. And we want to make sure that all of our opinions are voiced and everybody can actually hear what the community thinks about it. And it may not seem like there's a lot of us here, just me and him and a guest, but we did do this last night, and it may or may not have went very wrong once we started saying our true feelings about it, and we had a whole audience for that. So we're gonna redo that one because if I put that out there, I might be jeopardizing this fucking channel. Uh, so either or, I mean, if you want uncensored shit like that, you come to our Discord and listen live. But um, Lethality and I are here to clean up the mess we created last night, much like
Yes,
Ash
sir.
is doing with all of Otis's fucking paint everywhere. Uh, so that brings us to Otis, and that is the new brawler for this season. And he's this little fucking scuba helmet guy with fucking two legs. He has no arms, and he has this hose or power hose, whatever you want to call it, connected to like the back of his scuba helmet, and he uses that as his arm, so to speak. But it's literally just a gun that shoots, hose that shoots paint everywhere. He has a similar attack to Lou, very boring and bland. He shoots out three paint globs, I guess, and they are pretty much alike to Lou, and even damage, they're like the same, except this guy, it's like it's easier to hit them close range, but they start to like spread apart as they go to mid to long range. So you're only likely going to hit one, two at the most. You will not be hitting three, even if they have like a big ass hitbox. It's just not happening. So I guess that balances it out a little bit. And then his super is a disable mechanic, something that's new to the game that they're trying. Technically not because of stuns, but this is like a stun that actually doesn't stop you. It's one that you can continue to move and reload with, but you are unable to access your uh, primary or secondary abilities like your attack, your super gadgets, any of that. Just fully useless walking pylon, like Buzz is a lot of the time. Hurts my feelings. But what do you think, Lethality?
Oh boy. I mean, the attack. He has a little thingamajiggy that splurges paint everywhere. I don't know how I feel about that. Not very halal mode. Other than that, I mean, the stun, which is what we have to talk about. It's fucking insane. I mean, it's not like it's the first time that Brawl Stars released like an OP brawler that's gonna fucking break the meta.
Oh yeah, definitely not. It won't be the last either. I heard that it's a cash grab, so I really don't want to assume they have any backbone because they don't. And see, that's like the one thing in this update that's actually worth giving like a full, like at least hopeful review on, at least to describe everything that's going on with that one feature. But every other feature that added into this game after this or during this Brawl Talk and what is expected to come is just really lackluster and pretty much pathetic, in my opinion, for what was supposed to be a grand scale update. Like this is a fucking summer update. You go and look back at all of the other summer updates, minus last summer, but they tried hard last summer. That is, it may not
Yeah.
have worked in their favor, but they tried really hard. And this summer, it was just fucking disaster. Like, what the fuck is this? You're telling me you guys are going to go on a 2 month break? Do you deserve that 2 month break? I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, for real. Like every summer, like everybody's hyped. Like you're off school because like Brawl Stars' fan base is like they're not people of age. It's usually minors, and so these people out of school with a lot of free time, so they're gonna turn to games like Brawl Stars. And when you have fast-ass update or half-assed updates like this to provide for your community, I feel like that's what's gonna drive your game down to hell, and like no one's gonna want to play it eventually, and it's gonna become a dead game in essence.
Yeah, really. And it feels like they're not even taking that into consideration, like who their player base is for, and or what this game is for, and what it's meant to do. This is a fucking fast-paced 3v3 game mode or a game. It's supposed to be something that you get in, get out, and you can continue to get in, get out, get in, get out, and it doesn't feel like it's that much of a chore or a burden. And during this year, they have done nothing but make it a chore. And it's like this game was
Exactly.
supposed to be an escape for people. So like it was hell of an escape for me. Like I'd be in school and I wouldn't even be paying attention at all. I'd be playing Brawl Stars under my desk. Like this shit kept me going. It also, prevented me from doing a lot of homework and shit. But uh I didn't fuck with school. And not a lot of people do. And it's not even just about that. It's just that where they're going with this game in this last year has been pretty fucking terrible. And the trajectory is just plummeting. Like they're going face first into the fucking pavement. And this update was supposed to revitalize those past feelings that we had. And it doesn't seem like they're coming back.
100%. I can piggyback off of that point. Brawl Stars, these past few years, I've loved it. Like, I've made so many friends. I've developed a sense of leadership, several clubs, everything. Like, I'd be socializing and just grinding the game. I grinded for fun. I actually enjoyed grinding. Now I only grind to keep up, and it just feels like a chore. Like, it's getting worse and worse each update. Each update, I'm praying for something good, something that's going to bring the game back to life. And what I get instead are shitty updates. The entire community just experiences this. I can speak on behalf of everybody. Like people are quitting left and right. Like nothing good is being improved. I feel like Frank is being very aloof with the community and what they have to say, and that really grinds my gears.
Yeah, and we might as well go off on that. See, the reason why we haven't even talked about everything in this Brawl Talk yet, because if you were to have been I guess, saturated member of this community, and you've been here for a while, so you got the badges to prove it. You know what's up. You've watched all
Yes,
the
sir.
Brawl Talks, and
Hmm.
you would know that in comparison, yeah, sure, the art style and the idea for this one, yeah, bang on. It usually is. They do a good job with that. But when you actually look at what's being added into this and how it's supposed to be able to hold the community together or bind the community together throughout the summer, you would realize that they have completely just given up. And I don't even feel like it's worth mentioning a lot of the shit that's in that Brawl Talk, but we will. But I do want to uh, forward to a tweet that I was sent or I'm going to piggyback off of your point about Frank. And as follows. Actually, I'm going to go pull this up on the screen. That's probably the best way to do that. It's going to take me a second, though, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Are you
And,
referring to the tweet about gears?
oh, yes, what he had to say about gear.
Oh yeah.
Let me get that up real quick. Okay, so, oh boy, where do we begin? This guy named Inferno Listico. I could only assume this is something to do with a German name. I can't really tell. My apologies. But he does speak fluent English, so I will read it. And he says, barring the contents aside, no gear improvements again, unless this somehow does not age well. Yet, or you say you just don't have anything to say, yet you don't understand that radio silence does not make anything better. And then Frank, my fucking God, he did not need to like be this guy right now after like months. If this guy says radio silence, it was. They did nothing. All they would have changed was like the resistance gear to the vision gear, maybe tweaked a percentile here and there, but they have actually not addressed anything that Kairos or anybody has been saying about gears. Like it's not like it's just a Kairos thing. It is the community is not really satisfied with not only the output of gears, but where they are in their current state. So Frank decides to hop on Twitter fingers, and he says, we don't expect to change anything about gears in the planned future, 2022 and beyond. There's other changes which might which might impact several connected and brackets design systems. And before change, these additional gear changes aren't even being considered. And he didn't say even, but it felt like he did. It felt like he really stepped, put a foot down on everybody's neck right there. So I had to include it. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, it was so cute how he tries to be a little keyboard warrior. Like you felt the power in each period that he put in that tweet. I mean, it's just he's just extending his point. He's just being redundant. Like radio science, that's exactly what they're doing. I stand with that guy 100%. Finally, someone spoke for the community. And this reply, I don't stand by it. Like something needs to be done because gears are a major part, a major function of the game. It changes how we play. It changes interactions. It changed everything, like our whole perspective of Brawl Stars and how, like, for example, like if you're if you're in a showdown match, for example, and you see a brawler, you're wondering, can I kill this brawler? What gears do they have, etc., etc. Like it changes our perspective in many ways, and the fact that they're doing nothing about it when it's obviously broken, like it's not the most flawed thing in the game, yeah, but it needs to be fixed.
Yeah, you cannot just abruptly change everybody's I guess what they were, or comfort, their comfort on all the interactions and every brawler and how they would have previously played that brawler. And you have changed all of that. Like, yes, it's not going to modify it so much to the point where a brawler becomes like you can't even, you know, do the same play style you did before, but it bases off percentiles. And that's really fucked up because then that makes it luck. And majority of interactions, once they get like under 1,000 health, like any brawler, like you're under 1,000, they're under 1,000, whatever it is. Some brawlers they do, a lot of fucking damage, like Bull up close or something. But the majority of brawlers are going to deal with
Yeah.
the 1,000 issue, and it's actually pure luck. You have no idea if you go in and you rush and like you actually go offense, if you're going to be able to tank that extra shot. You don't know if you're going to be able to even get out your shot before you dead. You don't know if your shot's going to kill them because they might have some fucking, shield gear shit, and you don't actually know how much health they have. And even that, they might be able to get a fucking tick of, let's say you're unable to hit them for maybe 3 seconds, and they get a tick of that extra health gear. It's like it makes it 50% more healing. And what if they get like one tick of that health, and then you had no idea it was going to heal them that much because you didn't shoot them? And then it's like, shit, like, how did they get that much health? And then, especially if it's a Frank or something, that heals a shit ton. And because Frank's base healing is already a fuck ton because he has a lot of health, and you put stack 50% on that, you don't hit Frank for those 3 seconds, and you just let him gain like 1,500 health back. And you're like, shit, how the fuck did that just happen? And it's like way too much of just an inconvenience for a lot of people. And for Frank to get on Twitter and, claim that he's not tweaking anything and, really saying that don't get your hopes up at all. That really just, that hurts. I really don't like how he handled that.
Exactly. Like fewer and fewer people are reaching out to Supercell actually speaking. And I feel like the community itself has lost hope for Brawl Stars, and I feel like that's why a lot of people are leaving. Like it's even the statistics. Like if you go check out the channel and there's this website, you can check it out. Like they're losing subscribers, they're losing views. People are getting less and less interested in what Brawl Stars has to say, what they have to offer. And I feel like Gears Gears are just insane. Like they're just so unnecessary. At least that's what I think. And Brawl Stars really needs to do something. Frank, I don't know what perk he's smoking, but he needs to realize that something needs to be done ASAP, at least before the end of 2022.
Yeah, Frank, it really did used to be all love, man. It doesn't mean that it's not there anymore. But my God, like, please just sit back and think about it for a second. Don't sit on all the money. Remember where you came from. And
Exactly.
either or, we'll move on from that for now, and we'll get to what was actually in this update that was so game changing. That's really gonna, matter. And
Oh boy.
I'll move up to here. So yeah, as you can see, this is Otis right here. This is the only picture I want to use. I'm gonna trace this star real quick. I'm really bad at moving my fucking mouse, as you can tell. But look at this motherfucker with the crossed arms and shit. And then his fucking starfish buddy. They call him Sill, I believe. He also
Oh
has
boy.
crossed arms. Fucking gangster. I fuck with that. And these are the skins that came out in not today's update, but the Brawl Talk, and hopefully tomorrow's update. So the tier 1 skin right here, this is Sharp Tooth Colt. pretty fucking annoying that they put up another Colt skin for a Brawl Pass. That's like the second or third time, give some other brawlers some light. But considering last season it was Carl, and Carl was also up another time, back-to-back brawlers who have already been in a Brawl Pass before, they don't care. So, and they're not going to change.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to send this photo to you just so you see the exact one that I'm looking at.
Right.
Hold on, because it's the one I was highlighting yesterday. And okay, good. So, in the corner, this is Colt. He's
Oh
now a
boy.
fucking shark guns, whatever. Yeah, I guess it's cool. I'd pay gems for it if I cared to, but it's a Brawl Pass skin, and he's already been up there, which makes me feel like they sold out. Octo Fang, other corner, 79 gems, I guess. I don't know the gem amount for all of these, but some of them I do. He's pretty all right, not doing him that much justice with this photo, but whatever. And then Coral Bell, another skin right after Ivy Bell just came out, kind of really stupid in my opinion. I don't really understand why they would just do another one, but this is the tier 70 skin for Otis. I fuck with it. I fuck with it a lot. I wish Goofy was here. He'd talk about how he was doing the pyramid dance. And I just kind of want to like speed run through these because I want to waste time on them like we did in the last recording. Postal Brock here, he's going to be the Power League skin. I actually fuck with that one. It looks really cool with the shot animations. He shoots like cardboard box rockets. It's really cool, and it makes it a lot easier to hit your shots, I think. Like, it actually looks like it'd be easier to hit shots. Just because of how the missiles are no longer like ovals and they're rectangles, and it just looks easier to hit. And then there's DJ M's, and I'll give that one to you. I know you're passionate about that.
Oh boy, I love DJs. I love EDM. I think the skin is pretty badass. I mean, her hair and everything. She's on like a little hoverboard thing. Your animation is sick. I know for sure I'm gonna get the skin. I love it. As for Octo Fang, I think it's cool that they're doing a giveaway and they're leading it to the creators. I feel like that's gonna cheer the community up somewhat. And as for Postal Brock, I mean, if he's out on shift, do not leave your wife home alone because my boy, oh my god. Like Postal Brock, DJ M's, those are the only valid ones I'd say. Octofang, I'm not really sure. As for your point that you mentioned the Colts and Bell already being on the other brawl passes, I love that point. I think the other brawlers deserve the spotlight. The Colt has one too many skins, let's be honest. And I feel
Yeah,
like other
like,
brawlers deserve love.
yeah, definitely. And like, it's not like they have shied away. Like, I know it might be a rarity thing that Colt's trophy road brawler. Like, it's like, he's a lot. Everybody has Colt is the point. I feel like a lot of the trophy road brawlers, they have a lot of skins because of that fact, but
Yeah.
they have not shied away from doing a rarity like super rare. One time, Daryl was on the pass during rough season, I believe, and he was the tier 1. And I'm not aware of this, so somebody can correct me in the comments or something. I don't believe that it gave you the brawler, but it's also very possible that Daryl was free that season as a super rare because if you brought the pass, you would get that too. And I'm not sure though. So maybe that's why they don't want to keep doing shit like that because they'd be giving away that rarity of a brawler for free. But I feel like it's not. I feel like it just stays in your like box or inbox or whatever until you can actually claim it when you have Daryl. But somebody can correct you. But a lot
I
of
mean,
brawlers are just not getting love.
in the past, Trophy Road Brawlers, rares, super rares, they've been featured on the Brawl Pass before. Like the Poco one, that was one of my favorites. I mean, he's been on there what, 2 times? And I feel like that was great because most of these brawlers, people get early stages of Brawl Stars, and I know there are quite a few more that don't have skins, or that they do have skins, but they're not really that cool, and they deserve love by the Brawl Pass. At least that's what I think.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. And my boy Eli already corrected me. Yes, if you get the skin, you also get the brawler if you don't have it. So I understand why they don't want to do super rares, but I'm not giving them any reason as to why they can't put any rares on there or shit like that. And rare at the very least. Like they probably used all of them. I wouldn't doubt it. But you could throw up another super rare. It's not like there's like 60 brawlers in the game now, and it would hurt you that much to put up a super rare. But that's obviously just my opinion, but it feels like they're getting extremely lazy. And actually, what the fuck am I talking about? Carl is a super rare. He was up last Brawl Pass or whatever. They've done Carl
Yeah.
twice. That means they've given away Carl for free twice. So Fuck them. They don't get any fucking excuses. How about you throw up a fucking epic or something? Really
Exactly.
pissing me off.
And like as seasons pass, chromatics they're become easier and easier to achieve. So then you can eventually put those up on the brawl passes.
Yeah, and let's not act like Otis is not a fucking mixture of Lou and Bell, two previous Brawl Pass brawlers. So why not put an old Brawl Pass brawler that people probably have, majority? Why don't
Exactly.
you put like Buzz up there again for a tier 1 skin? Give him one or something. Not like I really want that to happen, but I don't see why you couldn't. Since
Yeah.
you're clearly willing to just not be creative with the brawlers you had anymore, and you just, keep them as like, aspects of fucking 2 to 4 brawlers, put them in a fucking bowl, and then you just take out a fucking attribute from all of them, and then that's a brawler now. I guess
Exactly.
I'm not
Like
happy.
no one's yeah, you gave us a brawler that's gonna be OP. It's gonna break the meta. Cool. Yeah, it's a really cool super, cool skin. Like it's lame. Like I remember when Nani was released, everyone was like, "Well, what the fuck is this attack?" Like it's so cool. But like at this point, we're just getting what we're getting, and I feel like that's very valid.
Yeah, I think brawlers have fallen off since like there were 40 brawlers. Everything afterwards has just been proof that they're unable to make something original, and it's very rare. They'd have to release like 10 brawlers before they release one that's like original ish. And even then, if you dig hard enough, you could probably find how it's related to another one. And that's not to give them any credit for, like, they've done so well with the 40 they did that they're not able to, they've used up all of the possible ideas. No, the fuck they haven't. If you put me in a fucking boardroom, gave me a month, I could come up with another fucking 30 brawlers at least that aren't like any of the ones in this game right now. And you actually pay me to do it, let alone fucking, I wonder what their salaries are, fucking hundred thousands. Like, you pay me that type of shit, I will give you the absolute best that I possibly could. Like, I would put it on my fucking mother's life that I would be able to give you better than they are. And
That would be amazing.
they're not doing that, man. They're not holding it to have that much power anymore. They're getting paid too much to do the jobs that they do. They don't need that anymore. They don't really have that hunger.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I paused there. We had a little rant, but that's because I have just been really not wanting to even start on this whole BTS line friends, BT20, whatever they call it.
Oh boy.
And that's the next 7 skins that were added to this update. And actually, not next 7. They added 6 normal skins and then 7, dare I say, furry skins. So they outweighed the normal skins in this update. So, oh my God, UK, I know how you feel about some of these because of last night's recording. Just don't make it too fruity. Edgar Tata, go ahead.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Edgar Tata. Uh, I don't know why his head is way too big. First of all, second of all, I don't even know why they partnered with BTS in the first place. It looks stupid as shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like when L Brown and Coney Max were released, I think those are some dope ass skins. I'm not gonna lie. I have L Brown. He's amazing, but the release of these skins are terrible, especially Tata Edgar. I think that's my least favorite.
Oh yeah, it's up there. Like, it's actually it's not my least favorite. My least favorite is Ruff's Chimmy, but I'll get to that in a second. Edgar Tata is just disgusting. I would have bought it purely for the memes, but I literally just got the Dr. Edgar skin, and that skin is so good for Edgar. Like, easily the best Edgar skin out. And they've released some heat
Yeah,
Edgar skins. Like, they got that fucking one with him in the sombrero with the fucking scarf guns or the finger guns. That one's pretty cool.
Orochi Edgar.
Uh, and then Hiroshi Edgar's the one where they on Fang's Brawl Pass where they had him as like, a purple
Yeah,
snake, a green snake. He looks dope. And
yeah.
then Dr. Edgar, it's like 3 back to back to back. Dr. Edgar is like the part of the Biodome set, which I will forever say Biodome were the best set of skins that they've released. Uh, I'm really regretting, like I'm actually regretting not getting all of them and getting the pins for them because I like every single one of them, except for Beetle Meg. I like Monster Truck Meg more, but I would have caught that for the pack, but I no longer have access to the pack. Anyways, that skin is fire. So releasing those kind of Edgar skins and then going directly to Edgar Tata is abysmal. Like, why? what got you here? Why does the heart have fucking bangs? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And
Yeah.
like, I don't care about anything to do with these characters. I don't know what they actually are. I don't know what Line of Friends are, but I don't know what audience you're targeting here, but it's not working.
Yeah, I don't think BTS and Brawl Stars fans have any correlation. I mean, BTS fans, the stands on Twitter are just something else. No one wants to fuck with them. I mean, I don't think the Brawl Stars community is that bad. And then in the past, Orochi Edgar, like badass names. Orochi literally was a eight-headed serpent in old Japanese times. It was a fairy tale. And then you have Tata Edgar. How the fuck do you come up with the name Tata? That sounds so fucking goofy. I mean, how many chromosomes do you have to have a head like that? Like that's just terrible. Like all of these skins, they're not even valid. They don't even fit their personas whatsoever.
Yeah, so we're gonna speed run through these because we gave them too much time in the last time we've talked about this. So off the bat, I just wanna actually I'll say that at the end of this. So Tick Shuki, I believe is Shuki or something like that. He's this little fucking I guess a brown gingerbread or like Timbit looking head ass tick. And I mean, he's cool or whatever. I mean, they could have got away with putting him out, and people wouldn't have even thought of the correlation of this Line and Friends thing. He's easily the safest one here, because he's not like a furry. Uh, they could get away with that, and then they'll probably make it the cheapest. Oh wait, no, they won't, and I'll get to that. So I just corrected myself mid fucking sentence. It might have sound corny, but I just remember that every fucking one of these skins, as you see on the screen, I might as well because they can all see them, all 7 of these, 150 gems for every single one of them. And so this is Ruff's Chimmy right here, easily the worst skin I've ever seen in my life. Like I actually have no idea what the goal for this was, and it's actually so terrible. I wouldn't even spend 29 gems on this, and they got it up for 150. What is that? Some sort of fucking flex? How is that a flex? Uh, BBRJ is the most demented skin on this whole list. Uh, like it doesn't work at all. It's like an elongated fucking jelly bean character, and like it's actually ridiculous. I might buy it simply because of how stupid it looks. Like I bought Potato Squeak. Club coins are a little different currency than gems, but I bought Potato Squeak because of how dumb it looked. And Edgar Tata, I probably would have done the exact same thing just because of how stupid it is. Like I want to kill people with the dumbest character, but I'm not going to stoop to being like a full blown furry because that's what it seems like they were targeting here. And
100%.
Sandy Koya, I believe, the koala, that's a pretty safe bet as well. They get away with that. Jackie Kuki, I actually have no idea. And she's a fucking rabbit. You know, rabbits bounce around, so her jackhammer, whatever they call that thing, that works. And then Bull Mang is a complete stretch. It looks like a little figurine. It does not look like it's an actual character. It's also very tiny in comparison on scale to the normal bull. But yeah, what are your opinions on these?
Oh boy. I mean, first of all, the heads are too big. And second of all, the fact that they're all being released on the same day just goes to show that something probably happened. I feel like after the collab, they're like, we fucked up. We came out with trash skins. We might as well just barf them all out on one day. And yeah, all of these, they're pretty bad. I mean, the only one I would consider buying would probably be the Koala Sandy skin. What was the name of that?
I think it's like Sandy Koya, I
Sandy
believe.
Koya. Yeah, that's like the only one that's valid because like koalas are like sleepyheads and like so is Sandy. So I fuck with that. Like they can get away with that as you mentioned. But other than that, yeah, Bull Ming is probably the second worst if Edgar Tata wasn't the worst. Or no, sorry, I misworded that. Bull Ming is the second worst, and it would be the worst if Edgar Tata wasn't up there. And I know for a fact I'm not even gonna consider like you would have to pay me to get these skins except Koya Sandy.
Oh yeah, 100%. If I had a gun to my head, I wouldn't actually be able to buy at least 5 of these. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would, even if you're jeopardizing my entire family. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like that's like beyond me. I can't. I cannot make myself press on any of these skins like a purchase for whatever it is, even if it's like a gem. Like I don't think I could do it. And like if I had to, I would be able to rock the Edgar Tata one if I didn't have Potato Squeak. All I need is one ridiculous skin, and since I already have that, Edgar Tata just blown out in the fucking water here. And BBRJ debatably just because of how dumb it looks as well, but it's like a way that it's not in comparison to Potato Squeak. Plus, I actually like playing BB. And then I would consider getting the Jackie one, but I like the color palette swap of her construction Jackie or whatever it is. I actually don't know which one it is, but it's green and white color instead of yellow and red like her original, whatever it is. And green and white, that texture on or that color scheme on her looks really fucking like clean. So I don't see a reason to have a different Jackie skin. But
I mean,
either or,
I feel like
go on.
Potato Squeak is being insulted when compared to some of these skins because I
That
mean, there's like
that's
there's two levels. Like Potato Squeak is stupid, which is like kind of why I like it. These brawlers or these skins, on the other hand, they're like completely stupid. Like stupid in the sense where you're not gonna buy these skins. Like they're terrible. Like they're not valid. They don't fit whatsoever. Like I don't even know why Brawl Stars decided or even considered BTS in the first place. It's just terrible. I don't like it.
Yeah, like you got to actually have some sort of dignity and pride. And you guys had the best community management out of any game I've been a part of. And it seemed like you really cared. And it's like, there's no way that you asked the community, hey, should we partner with BTS to give out skins like these? And it was overwhelmingly yes. You didn't ask. You didn't even like tease it because you knew damn well you were stepping on glass if you told anybody you were going to do this before you did it. Uh, they would have shot you down about fucking the Primo Bear, El Brown, and then Coney Max. Like even that was risky. You might have been able to get away with those type of skins, but this is just like you guys got overconfident, man. You cannot give out these kind of skins. It's just people are not waiting for this, and I don't know why because every other summer update in comparison, you've never or you've always rolled something out through the summer, like over the weeks. But this isn't even like a rollout. Nor is this a rollout that anybody was, looking for, or is even excited about. They know that they can't roll this out because there's no hype about these skins whatsoever. So they're just putting them all out on the same day, probably leaving them in there the entire month of July on like a skin set. Buy every single one of these skins for 150 gems and you'll get a fucking pack or whatever, pin pack. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like midway through season, Brawl Stars is gonna realize we fucked up. Like I don't think you're gonna hear anybody saying, "Oh, I'm gonna buy Toss Edgar" when it comes out. It's yeah, no one's gonna be interested in these skins just in general. They're just not it.
Yeah, like you can't tell me you didn't have some more skins in the vault that you could have brought out for this. I just don't. I really don't get it. But whatever. They must have been giving you some nice fucking money and some foot rubs or something for you to consider this, assuming that you have any dignity. And that's like bold of me to assume at this point. We'll move on to the next. And there aren't many things to talk about, but we're able to make a conversation out of anything. And that brings us to the mystery mode, this new random generated game mode concept that they're toying with, I guess now. And it's this it's random game modes, all of the game modes that have previously been in the game, and I have a whole piece to say about that. But all of the game modes that have been in the game before, and not just like or likewise to them or subject to them. I forget the exact word I want, but it's not just those ones. It's obviously you'll still find gem grab, bounty, blah blah, all that shit. Every game mode ever released in this game is the best way I should say that, and also with every modifier released to this game. So that could mean the power drink juice, whatever you call it, the speed, the probably what's that one with the losing health over time? It's like Ghost Town, Ghost
Yeah,
Graveyard Shift. That's
yeah.
what it is. Shit like
All I
that,
know
and
is
meteors, like whatever it is, it's gonna be in that game mode, and they're probably gonna say quote unquote it's randomly generated, but it isn't. It's them, hand picking a good 20 of them, I would assume, then putting them out to the public because you can't actually randomly generate that with that many people playing. It just wouldn't work. Um, because you actually have to have people be in the same match and then people also be against them and shit to actually match up with each other at the same time. It's just too much randomizing. They wouldn't be able to hold that. But it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be worth playing once or twice just to see how, loony it could really get. But the truth of the matter is, people are going to be pressing this shit. They're going to see something that is so ridiculous that they don't want to spend 3 minutes of their time doing or playing. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to leave. They are just going to abandon the team. You're going to get a bot. There are going to be so many times you play this, it's just going to be left with bots because people actually do not want to play whatever they quote unquote accidentally signed up for. Yeah, that's my piece for now.
I mean, yeah, I don't see myself grinding this mode. I don't see myself very interested. I'll play it once or twice, but other than that, I'm not gonna be playing it at all. I mean, in the past, when Brawl Stars has released events, like not even half of them I've even fucked with. And just in general, I feel like Brawl Stars could have come out with something better. I don't think this is random at all. You're right. It's probably handpicked, if anything.
Yeah, for sure. And my big problem with the fact that they're letting in all of the old game modes again is because how are you willing to put these all in the this mystery mode thing? Like this is some fucking big deal. And obviously, you know, last night's podcast, I forget who it was, but one of them said that there's no way that they could see this game mode actually staying in the game. Like it's just going to be like a 1 month thing or whatever the duration of it being in the game. And then if they cycle it out, nobody's going to be like, "Yo, bring mystery mode back, please!" Like that's not going to happen. And my big deal with this is every single game mode that they've added to this game previously, you can put this in the mystery mode, but you can't put it in friendly games. Is it actually that hard for you to put, present plunder or capture the trophy, whatever the fuck it is, trophy thieves? They changed the name, but shit like that, or even like payload or wipeout. Why isn't that in friendly games? What if people actually want to play that? Is it actually hurting you that much to just have them stored there? Like, is it actually going to like change the fucking game economy? Like, are the devices not going to be able to hold this kind of fucking a storage of you just vaulting some of them there? Like, what if I want to go back and play a present plunder match with my friends? What if I want to host a present plunder tournament? What if I want to host a fucking payload tournament? Even to hold the trophy one? Like, why are you barring people from playing those game modes? What if they were their favorites and they only got a limited time? Uh,
Like, I feel like so people like these events in the past, like from volleyball to present plunder, like it's been so creative, and I've loved it. I love the creativity that the dev team has. And you're right, they should have it in friendly games. I can see myself playing with my friends, having like certain things. I don't know, maybe for YouTube, for video, or for TikTok. I don't know, just like anything creative. But then I just I've lost respect. Let's be honest. Like they half-assed this update in general. Like from the modes to the skins, it's just I'm disappointed. I speak on behalf of the community. It's disappointing.
oh, very, very
But
disappointing. Um,
like, and then the thing is, like, Brawl Stars has removed like these events in the past because they got more attention than the actual game modes. I mean, that shows that the community is interested. And if you're just gonna like just take it away from our hands because we're not playing your actual game modes, then maybe that tells you that maybe you can implement it somehow in the actual game modes that you have.
yeah, I completely agree. And it just feels like there's a lot of disregard over what people actually feel about these. I don't feel like they are doing that well of a job of even speaking to the community. My solution to this would be we've had a podcast about this in the past. You can go back and watch that. We talked about all the game modes that were added to the game or whatever. If I knew how to link it, I would. But uh, it's a thing, and we came up with a solution. Maybe it was me, I don't know, but the solution was, why don't you have some sort of like tournament for it, like you did? Well, it wasn't. I wouldn't really call it a tournament because when they wanted Hot Zone to be released in the game, they actually said straight up, like, play this game mode if you want to keep it. Play it, and like they kept pushing it in our face. Like, let's be real, the Hot Zone never won or never hit the quota that they were wanting. They just wanted that game mode because it was the most control-oriented one there was. You could debate that Gem Grab was a competitor, but no, Hot Zone is pure control, nothing else. And so they really wanted something like that to kind of, help the competitive landscape. But they will forever not show the data as to proving that Hot Zone actually hit the targets that they were, hoping for. But why not? Over the summer, this could be something that you rolled out and actually had people interested because they want to play their favorite game modes again. Why don't you have it as some sort of like bracket style tournament kind of thing where every week you put up 2 game modes and it's like, okay, so here's payload and here's basketball, and just straight up like whichever one gets the most plays throughout this week moves on to the next round. So you want this game mode to stay, fucking play it. And you would actually incentivize the people that really want that game mode to play your game for the whole week, first of all, and actually have some interest in getting a new game mode. And it would be like fully community oriented because as the weeks progress and we're like at mid to late August, there's going to be like 2 game modes left. And Maybe in my eyes, they let in the last two winners because clearly both of them are liked a lot, but they do it as like a little for fun thing, see who wins. And then, surprise, we're letting them both in, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, yay, let's go, we get them both. But in my eyes, I should be fucking payload on better maps, and then present plunder, whatever it's called, on better maps as well. A lot of game modes really get pushed aside because when they were released, the maps weren't that good, or I guess they were abusable by a lot of comps. But doing so would actually make it feel like the community has some sort of say in getting one of their favorite game modes back. And it just feels like they add a game mode, they don't say anything about it for 30 days, they remove it from the game, still not saying shit. Radio science, silence, silence, like
Science.
I said earlier, and fucking that's it. You don't see the game mode again for another year. No word about it either. Like I'm tired of it like that. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, Brawl Stars is fucking crazy. I mean, the concept of having hot zone, play it, you keep it, or we'll keep it in the game. I feel like that completely contradicts what happened with these past few modes that we've had, like these past couple of months, especially Showdown Plus. I mean, a lot of people played it, they removed it. I mean, that was bullshit, if I'm being honest. Like, when I'm playing with people, I don't think I ever hear anybody say, do you want to play Hot Zone? Like, I feel like it can be replaced with something better. And Brawl Stars has come up with amazing modes in the past that I feel like they really need to bring back. But if I have to play in a randomizer of 1 to like 20 modes that they had, like in total, just to play this one mode that I liked, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way just to do that and then just randomize. Like even if I got it first try, like I'm not gonna be spending my time grinding something I don't want to do. And that's just the general of Brawl Stars. Like that's how I've been feeling throughout all of it in general these past couple of months.
Yeah, and what also happens if you get a randomizer mode? Because obviously they're preset. It's not like every single one's different, uh, or like there's like endless possibilities. I mean, but what if you actually got heist and it was speed? Okay, like for example, and the map was cool. It's a map you really liked. It's a heist map that you just played a lot in the past, and now it has speed. You're having a lot of fun. You coincidentally picked a brawler that's actually helping and it's doing well on that map. What if you want to play again? You can't. You don't get to do that. You don't get to experience that a second time with new teammates and new opposition. You actually have to go back to the menu, and when you press play again, you will be playing a completely different game mode that you were not excited for, and you probably won't even enjoy. So it's like they had you looped in. They had you wrapped around their finger because you liked maybe safe zone and heist with speed. You enjoyed it a lot. You were willing to play it 10 times in a row. But they have now taken that away from you. You play the mystery mode again, realize that you're not going to get that again, then you get off the game. And it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
you literally just screwed yourself because this guy, whoever he was willing to just play this and just simply have a fucking grand old time playing what he wants to play. But
Yeah.
that's why
I don't
if
know
they
what Brawl
map
Stars.
maker, put him in map maker, and that guy can actually do that.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I thought they probably thought that people would lose their shit over this randomizer. I mean, most of these modes they were like taken down for a reason, and no one's gonna be interested. Not in the skins, not in the game modes, nothing in general. Like as I mentioned before, it was half-assed, and summer is like one of the most vital points of Brawl Stars. And the fact that they came out with this bullshit, like let's talk about the new game mode. What was the name of it?
Oh yeah, that's right. Hunters, and I will put that up on the
Yeah,
screen.
Hunters.
Oh, so Hunters is you know it enough to explain it. Uh,
I don't think
that's
it
fine. I can
deserves
do it if you have,
that.
or if I have to. But so
Yeah.
basically, it's a solo game mode, 10 people as usual with their solo style game modes they've attempted. And hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. So as you can see here, Belle is hunting down to get this kill on the El Primo. And I love how their names are literally exactly what they are. But she's going to get that kill. And what that would do is this total up here, it's the wipeout total. Is it wipeout? It used to be 8 kills, but now it's 10 kills, but it's a 3v3 style. And this is a solo game mode that works like the Lone Star that was released in the game, where it was a bounty, a solo bounty that would run out the clock every time. This time it won't run out this clock. This clock's probably 3 minutes, 2 minutes 45, something like that. And it won't run out the clock because it's first to get 6 kills. Just like as a solo game, it has a clock or a quote unquote timer with the smoke approaching you. But you could obviously win the game long before it ever gets to that point. So it's still a very fast-paced game mode, and you're competing to get 6 kills. First person to get 6 kills gets out, and there's a lot of question as to how exactly you're ranked in this because, as you can see, Belle has 1 kill. She's ranked 4 out of 10 in this photo, and there's yeah, this comes up on the screen. It's like an announcer as well. So this brawler, I guess the Barley right here, he killed a Shelly across the map, and he has 2 kills total. So it says 4 takedowns left for your enemies because this one Barley probably is in the lead right now. And so when it gets to the end, I'm just really confused because it's the same process in Lone Star and Takedown that they tried this whole rank system in the corner, which is kind of scary because it's like you should know what rank you are. Like you know what rank you are ending the match, but here it's all up in the air because like say it's down to the end and this Rosa over here has 6 kills. This Primo, she won. She got 6 kills. You have 5, and this Primo has 5. And then let's say this Barley and this Shelly up here have 5. How is it that we can confirm whether or not this Bell is going to get second and that this Primo is going to get third or these fourth, fifth? Like, how do you know? There's no real indication of like, is it who got it first? Like, I'm struggling to figure that out because in Lone Star there was a bounty on your head. So with that, it was like you had a good indicator that like unless somebody kills you, that you're probably gonna win. But if somebody was to kill you with that big bounty, you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm probably not gonna be able to get that back because that guy just collected everything, on my head, all the money on my head. But in this game mode, it feels like you don't really have an indicator of whether or not you're gonna win unless you actually win. And then second, third, fourth, like all of that is like up in the air. So, yeah, you good
And
now?
yeah, and then the frustrating part is that it's gonna encourage teaming one way or the other. Like, dude at the top, like 1 kill away, like everybody else is gonna make sure that guy does not win, does not get the kill, and then
Oh
you're
yeah,
gonna like
I have to mention,
better.
not in this photo, but the point he's talking about is when you're in first place, you have a crown on your head, and it's a indicator on the map so people can see, which direction the person who has the crown's in or has the crown is on, and they could go target him. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, and then someone mentioned a really good idea of having like a radar to target people, and I feel like that would really get rid of the idea of bush camping. But then again, it would really just remove the purpose of bushes in general.
Yeah, I think that the radar should be very like just general direction of where the people are because the problem Lone Star used to have was it was random spawn points. You'd spawn somewhere, and this is showdown size maps. These are big maps, and there's not smoke approaching, so it's not like the arena gets smaller. It's continuing to stay the same size, and it's like there's no real indicator as to what direction people actually are or where they're fighting, especially since Lone Star was a whole Mortis and Leon oriented mode. Like it was actually terrible for that. And everybody was playing Leon. So even if you were going in the right direction, the motherfucker's invisible. You don't even know. And there's a lot of situations I remember playing where I would end up on the top right corner. Come to find out, I go watch the replay and there were 7 people in the fucking bottom left, left middle. Everybody's scrapping over there. I'm fucking desperately searching for somebody. I'm in like fucking 6th place. I'm like, God, please let me get a kill. And then there's nothing I can do. And then the match ends. And I feel like if they had a radar, like right here, that would look really, really good. And just general, I guess, dots as to where the people are. And maybe the person with the crown is just a crown on that radar, but not big enough where you can see to the exact fucking bush that they're sitting in where they are. It's just like, yeah, there's 3 people left. And then the other 6 are if I go down to some extent, they're down there. So then you at least know that nobody is to the top right or the right of you. So you don't accidentally go there and then it's like, oh shit, so no one's over here and I just wasted time. But that's
Yeah,
what happened.
because of this, because of this point, I think that it's obvious that Brawl Stars could have put more thought into this mode because of flaws like that. You spawn in on one side, everybody's just fighting on the other side, and as you run, as you try and find them, you're wasting time, and like before you know it, you lose a couple trophies, then it becomes a cycle, and it's just annoying. And I feel like something needs to be fixed. Like the radar idea is really great. Like maybe instead of like pinpointing their exact location, just like a red marked area, like of where the people are, where it's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Like the radar is just a necessity if they want this game mode to actually be able to stay. It's not
Yeah,
enough having it be up in the air of whether or not you could win or find somebody. It's just not good like that. Um.
and and I can see I can see Leon and Mortis definitely coming back into the meta for this game mode.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. 100%.
And the
So
thing is, if an Otis is on you, locked on with that super, you're done. You're very vulnerable.
yeah, you're vulnerable to everybody, and everybody's going to be
Yeah,
targeting the solo thing. Like they know that you're not going to be able to shoot. So good luck getting
yeah.
away. Um. And there are a couple other things that are worth mentioning. I guess. And these are the sprays. Oh fuck, that's a really tiny picture. Okay, that's a better one. These are the sprays that are going to be added into the game. I'm sorry in advance, people that listen live. I'm trying to find the best way to actually, because I can't screen share in a stage channel. I can only screen share in a voice channel. So I'm trying my absolute best to accommodate that and not make sure that I'm saying things that you guys just straight up have no idea what I'm talking about because you can't see my screen. But for this, just for this one, I might be a little fucked up, but I'm actually gonna fix it for the next couple. I'll probably talk in like a third perspective kind of thing. So it's like you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but you could probably guess or like follow along, like listen to what I'm saying type shit. But for now, it's not gonna be as good. But I'm testing out
All
making a video, so whatever.
right.
There's a
Every
bronze
day moves
bullet.
gathering.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not moving, bro. Uh, and the bronze bullet here, I guess not the silver bullet like Colt. That's a spray that you can get. A silver lightning bolt, a gold star, a blue diamond with the fucking whatever. I guess you call it a lightning bolt through it because it probably does go like that. But either or. There's a purple crown with a halo. That one's a really cool one. And then there's the demon fucking bot bull, I guess, whatever you want to call that. I really don't know how you describe that. And then there's this really cool Brawl Stars one. And I would only assume you won that from a challenge, but that's all the screen time they get. They still haven't put the KTB spray in the game. If you don't know what that is, it's based on us, the caution spray.
Oh boy.
How old do you fucking know it is? So we didn't get time for this last time, so I'm really glad that we did this again. And we can actually talk about the balance changes unless you have more to say right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so really minor balance changes. Not very impressed, to say the least, but given that their entire purpose of this update seemed to be pleasing the furries, I don't think they care too much about the core gameplay. So either or, what we're left with is what we're left with. And on the screen, as you can see, we got 4 nerfs and 2 buffs. So we'll get the nerfs out of the way because those are always depressing. Well, unless it's Eve's case, that one's really exciting. And the 2 buffs last because I do have some opinions about both of those. I'm sure we both do. So I will send you this photo very, very quickly. I keep forgetting that I should probably be doing that.
Please.
Obviously, you motherfuckers can't see that I'm sending shit to him, but I'm doing what I gotta do. And that is this photo right here. Coach Corey, you are the plug. I believe, yeah, it's you. Coach Corey, the plug. You always go look at his balance changes because he does them so neat and clean. OJ's a runner up, but Coach Corey really he knows what he's doing. So shout out, Coach. But I don't really watch your videos, but I definitely check your community posts when you post these. So Byron, we'll start with that. I wouldn't know if I would say this is a needed change, but I definitely don't disagree with it. And that is him shortening his reload speed. I can't give you I can give you the exact numbers, but people don't speak in numbers like that. So just imagine it as a little bit slower to charge all of your shots. Like he might, let's say you have no ammo, you just shot all 3 of your ammo. Um, and compared to the other Byron who just shot all 3 of his ammo, like pre-balance change, uh, he would probably get to 3 ammo while you're at like 2 to 2.5 now. And it's gonna make a difference as the game progresses, but it won't really impact you during the early to mid game. But mid to late game, once you're like really, throwing out shots out there, it might actually start to catch up on you, and you're gonna realize that you're not getting as much value as you used to out of him. You got anything to say about that?
I mean, yeah, Baron, just in general, is a very annoying brawler to go up against. I mean, you see him in like almost every single mode, but I feel like starting now with these balance changes, You're gonna have to be careful with when you heal people, when you do damage, and just be more conservative with it. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it was needed, but it wasn't a dire situation to where it was necessary.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it though. I'm definitely still going to be playing Byron. He's still very good. I think that this will kind of solidify his spot and what maybe is a B or A tier. He might get brought down to B, but he's definitely a solid A tier brawler. Um, but the next one is one of the most deserved nerfs that I've seen in a very long time. And it really took them a long time to address this. I will, every time Eve is ever mentioned, I want to put it out there that Adrian King, I believe his last name is, the one person that does balance changes for Brawl Stars, openly admitted that Eve was broken on purpose and they were struggling. They were down on their fucking luck and they needed some money. So they added in a brawler that absolutely abused all of the game mechanics in the
Right?
game. Yeah, it was completely orchestrated. Eve was on purpose and they don't care about you. Okay. They don't give a fuck if it breaks the game. They just want their money. But my God, they didn't used to be like that. So I'm never gonna ever act like I don't see that. I'm not gonna be your favorite Brawl Star. I will be your favorite Brawl Stars YouTuber, but I won't be like, oh, Brawl Stars YouTuber, man. Like I'm not gonna go against my fucking, feelings and how I actually truly feel to get like the corporate fucking pat on the back. I don't want that shit. But
Absolutely.
Eve, her second star power, as you all may have known, because it was a really fucked up situation in the meta of this game, spawned an extra spawnable egg or her hatchlings, whatever I believe is what they're called, after the big egg. So the third egg that she shoots out of her one ammo, which shoots 3 projectiles, small, medium, large. So the large egg, I should say, that she shoots. Uh, Cat is here. Hello. Hi. So spawns a hatchling, and that hatchling is then so much pressure for the single target brawlers because it forces them to waste an ammo. It forces everybody actually to waste an ammo. Splash brawlers don't, care as much, but they still have to shoot an ammo in order to kill that thing because it will latch onto you and make it to prevent you from healing for a couple seconds and a couple seconds more while it's not doing poison tick damage on you. And really fucking broken. For a long time, this has just, you know, absolutely terrorized competitive gameplay. And if you were to get Eve in Club League, you win. So if you don't ban Eve, like it's like you're forced to ban the brawler. I really don't like a game where it's in that state. Okay, what do you think about
Yeah.
Eve in this balance change? Oh wait, I didn't even say the change.
It,
It's now every 5 seconds, like Byron's injection star power. It's like every 5 seconds. So I don't believe that it's actually the large egg that has to hit anymore. I think it's if she hits any eggs, it spawns the egg after 5 seconds if you have the charge bar charge. So yeah, go on.
yeah. This nerf was hella fucking deserved. Like I'll have an Eve like on the hinge of death, and then it somehow survives, and then with the hatchling just tanking for it, and it's just so fucking annoying. And then they get away on water, and yeah, Eve is broken. Everybody knew Eve was broken. Like Eve left and right. If you have an Eve in your match, you're done. Like your entire team is done. You're getting wiped. You're getting clapped on. And this nerf is only one of the few nerfs that I can see that will finally balance Eve. I
Yeah.
mean, being able to go over water, we've never seen that before. And like at that point, we knew it was over for the meta.
Oh boy. I actually, and somehow that mechanic wasn't even her most broken one. It was just simply the fact that the just pressure with her and the spawnables is just too much. Like her having her super spawn 3 hatchlings that have like a decent amount of health. I think it's like over 2,000 health. Yes, all of her hatchlings lose health over time, but it's not enough. Like they're not losing health fast enough for it to even matter. Uh, like you'd have to run probably 10 tiles to 15 tiles backwards for a hatchling to actually die before it hits you. So it's like you might as well shoot the ammo. Like it's not balanced at all. Uh, but I believe that there will be more Eve nerfs coming soon. At least I have hope there would be. And I would also say that Eve is definitely not a confirmed ban anymore. After this balance change, I won't be banning her all the time. Maybe on some maps that are more water oriented and a lot of choke points because of the water. Or maybe I'm just not trying to verse an Eve that day. I'll be banning Eve, but it's not a confirmed win anymore. It's just she's going to have an advantage, but it's not a confirmed win. And that's okay for now, but definitely not good enough. You need to do more. Um, okay, so the next nerf it's a very minimal one, but it could have major impact on the game, and that's the Ruff's nerf right here, Colonel Ruff's, and his sandbag gadget. The HP is reduced from 2,000 to 1,500, and that's
Oh
going to make
boy.
a lot of difference because I don't know. I personally like his other gadget, but I'm just more of an offense oriented player. But for defense, this one holds a lot of value. Like you can actually prevent majority, especially if single target brawlers try to get rid of you. They have to melt through these sandbags first, and that's just agonizing for a lot of those brawlers. I fucking hate B. I hate B so fucking much that I thought the game died the second they added her. But for the sake of B, she struggles the most with shooting those fucking sandbags because she has to shoot twice still on every sandbag to get rid of them. So that's 6 shots while the roughs can just stand behind them and shoot you the whole time. It's really not fair, but I think that this is going to make it balanced a lot more. Just don't get in a situation where you're 1v1ing a roughs if you're B. It's just not going to help you. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, the single targeted brawlers are fucked when it comes to roughs. Like I remember the other day just grinding roughs. I countered 2 8 power cube things because of this gadget. It came in clutch so well, and I was just so happy. But I feel like this is gonna really change how we play the game, and you're gonna have to be we're gonna have to be more careful playing roughs because it's not gonna tank fully while you're in a dire situation. Like
Yeah.
25% health. Like it might not seem like a lot, but that's like 500 health gone from each sandbag, and I feel like that's gonna change a lot.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna yes, you should be more careful. Obviously, this is significant, but the majority of the time, the sandbag shouldn't be like life or death scenario where it's like you have to ride out the entirety of the sandbags and you have to stay in that location the entire time. That is just not like true. That's not something that should be happening. And if it is, you got pinched, and that's probably your fault. Uh, Especially since Ruffs is able to bounce shots as well. Like you probably let yourself get in a situation where you need to stand in the middle of it or behind all 3 of them the entire time. Uh, but I understand why people would do it. So it's just not going to be as easy to play that pussy play style for that long anymore. But the last nerf is to Janet. Obviously, not enough. She does need way more nerfs than this. I wouldn't say fucking destroy her. Like she's not like shattered, but there are some nerfs that were not addressed, and this one was a really easy one. And the fucking what is it? The gadget, the drop the base gadget. I was just trying to remember what the name was. It's the gadget where she spawns a fucking Sandy super with no invisible, which is with the 100 damage tick over time, like on a little spawnable item. Uh, she could spawn that in the air previously. It does make sense because your gadget's called drop the base, but either or, that's not really fair because you have to earn that or that spot that you got to in order to drop that gadget. And if you're telling me that Janet can just fly, 5 seconds across the map, drop that thing, and then turn around for the 2 seconds and escape, and actually use that to reveal who's in the bushes around that area, or like continue to put pressure on them, that's just not really fair. Like you didn't deserve that pressure. Uh like it's a lot of pressure. Like it's not fair. It prevents healing and it has a large radius. So she actually has to deserve getting close enough to drop that. So this is a brain dead nerf, but it makes sense.
100%. Like took the words right out of my mouth. Like you cannot bush camp and jump a Janet while she had this ability. Like while flying, this was broken. I'm not gonna lie. Janet's still gonna be good. Like she's still gonna have the upper hand, but I feel like this is gonna majorly affect how it affects the meta because she broke the meta. Just like any new brawler that Brawl Stars releases, she broke the meta. Like she was just insane. And I'm glad that they brought this nerf.
Yeah, and these ones are going to be intense because they are pretty significant buffs. But the oh yeah, I don't even know what this means, but I guess there's a second one. Uh, Auto aim no longer targets airborne enemies. I mean, I don't really know when that happened, but uh, sure, okay. But either or, there are 2 buffs here to Grom and Carl, and these are pretty
Oh
significant buffs. And these
yeah.
brawlers, Grom, for one, has been in desperate need of a buff because that was actually the first brawler they've released to the game that was shattered, like easily, like, at least top 3 on everybody's list of how good fucking Grom was, and or like all the brawlers in the game in comparison. And my fucking god, they shattered him. They destroyed him. Like they brought him from fucking hero to zero, completely nothing, nullified everything, and he is easily at least bottom 3 on everybody's list now. Complete 180. He's terrible. And this buff, I don't agree it was the right change. I'm just going to flat out say that damage was not the play here. I think some damage should have been added, but it's the fact that his projectile speed is so slow. That's why he struggles with hitting shots and actually being like, you can add as much damage as you want to him. If he can't hit the shots, then, like, what the fuck are you going to do with it? But at close range, any tank can bully him. If you have any skill or any fucking, 1-2 fucking hopscotch steps, you can move away from him. But his damage was increased significantly, and it doesn't look like much here, but that's like level 1 stats. At level 11, his attack goes from 1350 to 1650, and his super damage goes from 2000 2550 to 2400. That's what I believe it was. Or no, it's 2000. No, I think that's right. I think it's 2550 down to 2400. So a nerf on his super damage and a buff on his overall damage. But that buff is very significant, especially when paired with his second star power, his X Factor star power. And that increases the damage by way too much, in my opinion, now that this is a thing. But it adds an extra 500 damage to an attack if you're able to hit it at max range. And his range is maybe 4 tiles from the original burst of the bomb. And that's fucked because now his attack can. So the buff was from 1350 to 1650. You have the X powers or X Factor star power equipped. You can now do 2,150 damage with one attack if you hit it at max range. Yes, it's skill to hit it, but that's a fuck ton of damage that Grom should not be dealing. That's like super level damage, and it's just they need to nerf that star power now because that collaterally just got broken because of that. But I don't think this really addressed the issues with Grom as to where he can't really hit people up close anymore. He's definitely the worst thrower when it comes to short range combat or close range combat. And they just completely ignored that. They just threw a bunch of damage buffs on him, and that's supposed to fix the problem. But no. What do you think?
I mean, Grom, it's obvious. Grom takes skill to play, especially when you're up against tanks, and just 22.2%. Let that sink in. Like, Brawl Stars has been hesitant to even raise a brawler's damage by 10%. And the fact that 22% bonus to his to his damage is just crazy. Like, that's gonna change a lot of interactions. Like, he can take out a lot more brawlers with 3 shots. And it just, I don't think it was the right move. I feel like they could have made him less vulnerable to tanks because if you've played the game for like at least a couple months now, I'm pretty sure you could be able to take out a Grom because it shouldn't be that hard because you're right. He is the worst close combat brawler. But the super is hard to dodge. I'm gonna be honest. I just could be ass or it's just the truth. His super is hard to dodge. But as for his attacks, they're not really that hard. I mean, they just go. They're not diagonal. They're perpendicular. So if you can just like maneuver around, you can be able to target the ground. But other than that, I feel like something else could have been added instead of this as a buff.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we have a lot of
Like they could have, they could have implemented a way to make him less vulnerable. I feel like that's the general.
Yeah, and beforehand, before they shattered him, he used to be able to drop his attacks instantly. And the thing is with that, like instantly at close range, I mean, there was no arc, and now there's a long arc before it, hits the ground. They made it so that no matter what range you're shooting at, it'll take the exact same time to land. So at long range, it was a buff. But at short range, it's definitely a nerf. Like, it's so hard for him to hit people short range unless you have real skill. Like, Grom is easily the most skillful thrower, and he'll probably stay that way. And you actually have to work for that super. Like, giving him all these damage buffs, if he can't even hit those attacks, is not really helping him get the super. And the super got a nerf too, which is like, well, shit. But I understand why they did it since this damage buff is 22%. Like, that's ridiculous. And they nerfed this
Yeah.
down like 5%. And now he struggles because he can't shoot, fast when people go close range to him. So now he's Mortis bait. He's the easiest thrower for Mortis to kill. At least Dynamite can get his dynamite on the ground immediately, whereas Grom cannot by any means. Any final
Yeah, I mean,
Grom?
the speed changes on how far you throw it, so I think that's a nice part. That's the only nice part about his vulnerability.
Yeah, and the last one on this balance change list is Carl, and Carl has a history, just like Max, of continuously getting buffed and then them immediately going, oh shit, the brawler's broken, and then nerfing them right after. And it sucks when Carl and Max are two of my all-time favorite brawlers. And Carl was my favorite brawler before Buzz was released for a very, very long time. And it just sucks being a player of his that where they just cannot find the place for him, and they just continuously get your hopes up and then immediately shoot them down. I would bet money that this Carl buff right here will be nerfed or reworked in the next balance change once they realize, oh shit, Carl's broken again. And his projectile speed has increased. I really don't know how these numbers are even accurate, but has increased by 15%. And that is very significant because that allows his pickaxe to come back to him faster after he throws it out at any range, short range, medium, or long range. That'll come back to him. And that can make it so back in the day, you used to be able to wall spam with Carl. If someone was at a wall, you could just go bang, 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 bang against the wall and shred their health. This is going back to that territory. So I don't know how I feel. Obviously, I'm excited, but I don't want to get my hopes up because I feel like they're going to shoot it the fuck down, especially in when you compare it to being able to use his power throw, his first star power. That will also be an extra 9%, I believe it is, on his projectile speed. So that's just a fuck ton of speed. Like, I'm going to be using that, and he's going to get his shot, out and back to him within half a second type shit. So I'm kind of like scared to not only Versa Carl, but to actually start mastering him again and then have them nerf him.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people won't even notice it to begin with, but I feel like this is gonna make Carl easier to play. I mean, I personally, I wouldn't say I have a clear say on Carl because I have a hard time, and that could be because my Carl is ranked 25, power 7. But then again, like I said before, it's gonna make him a lot more playable. Like, it won't be noticed, but it's gonna do something.
Yeah. But I guess it's gonna bring him up to a maybe. I haven't been saying this throughout the list. I did it for Byron, but Eve is probably probably S tier still, but debatably A tier. Ruffs is probably solid B tier brawler because he benefits from having teammates with him to actually use his fucking super or effect on him. Janet's probably still comfortably S and A tier, somewhere around there. I'd say high A tier if she's an A at all. Grom, I really don't know what this means because Grom was definitely F tier, and I would say that this moves him up to C tier. I really don't know because in the right hands he could be S tier, but like
Okay. If you could rank these changes from most needed to least needed, how would you rank it?
how would I do it?
Yeah.
Well, I do want to say, Carl would at least be B tier, but his super will always hold him back because you can knock him back out of it. And I feel like that they should nerf his damage and then make his super non-knock backable, resistant to it. But whatever, I don't feel like they'll ever do that. Okay, so ranking them from most need, or I'll do least needed first. The least needed one on this list would probably be Byron. Um, that's the one that I feel like if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be, like if they just reverted this, I don't think people would be like, "Oh, fuck, why did you change this? Byron needed this so much." Like, I really don't think that that would happen. Um, then the next one would be Janet's. I do agree that it needed to happen, but for it to be like the most needed one here is just stupid. Like it's a lot of pressure, sure, but it's also easily destroyable and you can get out of its range and shit. Next would be roughs, and that would, it's a little change the sandbag. It'll change a couple interactions, but overall, it won't make the gadget that much of a, like choice. Like you still should probably choose that one over the other one. I'll still choose the other one just because that's how I live, but uh, I feel like you should probably still use sandbags. And next in line would be a buff. So those three nerfs, like, yeah, they're needed, but not like that. Uh, the next one would probably be Carl. I don't believe he needed it. I'm happy they did it, but I don't think that it's because, like, since they're probably just going to nerf it again, I just you might as well put him there. And then Grom would be next because although they did, throw a lot of fucking damage buffs onto him, they didn't really fix his problem. But the damage is too much to ignore. So he's definitely second. And then Eve is 100% first. That has been someone that's been long awaited for a while. And Eli, once again, the fucking KTB podcast fact checker, has confirmed that even if you have the bar charged up, it won't be any egg. So it's still going to be the big egg. So that makes it even harder to do it. Yes, Eve's attacks are really easy to hit and to get that big egg to click, but now you like it's not like, you fucking get it one out of your three shots and it's going to save you. If you need that charge bar up at least to even get it, and then you're like shooting shots, you might not even hit it at all. And that's going to make Eve struggle a lot. And I'm very happy about that. So that's definitely the most needed one. Do you agree or disagree with my list?
I mean, most of it I'd agree, but before I continue, this is opinionated, so don't come to my house just because I disagreed on a change. So for me personally, I think I'd agree with you. Byron was the least needed, if we're being honest. Yeah, he's annoying to go up against, but this is gonna make him more conservative with his ammo, and it's gonna slightly change how you play Byron. And then hmm, next I'd probably say Carl. I mean, yeah, you're right. He's had a long series of buffs, but this one, I don't really think it was that needed. Sure, it's going to change a lot because before, I don't even think Carl is playable, if I'm being honest. But it's definitely not the most or like anywhere up there. But then next up, I don't know, probably Grom. All right, here's the thing. Something else could have been implemented instead of his damage. Don't get me wrong, his damage is going to completely change how he's played. Like, it's going to be more rewarding whenever you hit somebody. But I feel like there could have been a rework instead to his attacks because he is very, very vulnerable. Then Ruffs. I mean, Ruffs isn't that great, but then again, he is better than people think he is. I think, I think it's going to be easy. It's obviously going to be a lot easier to take out his sandbags. I mean, that's 500 health. And then next up, we have it's either Jan or Eve. I'm not really sure, if I'm being honest. So I think they're both most equally needed.
Well, it's not even like the list is that controversial, so agreeing to disagree wouldn't even be that fucking crazy. So that's what I'm gonna do for this because there are some where I would move and there's some where you would move. But either or, I think it's collectively agreed that all of these changes probably should have happened. Would it matter if one or two of them didn't happen? Probably not. But I'm glad they did. Um, and for considering their past balance changes, these balance changes are pathetic and really just ignoring a lot of other brawlers in the game, which makes me think that they're overconfident and their, you know, supposed fact that the game is way closer to being fixed or there's not much that they have to do anymore. So like where are the balance like it's not even just that. Like you want to shift the meta every once in a while. Every brawler needs a chance to shine. No matter how much you hate them, there should be a time where they're one of the best in the game and it feels good to actually abuse that brawler's mechanics and enjoy doing it. Now, I also am an advocate for having a balanced game. So I also would agree with never having those brawlers have their shine, but that's because I would put every single brawler as an A tier. I would work and balance them until every single brawler is A tier. And the only reason they would ever be S tier is map specific or situation specific. There would never be an argument about if there was a brawler that's B tier or C tier. And if I found out that there was one, all of the other brawlers in comparison would be so balanced that that one brawler's flaws would be so highlighted that you would be able to address what the actual problem is. But Brawl Stars doesn't like that. They like having it be skewed and all fucked up from F tier to S tier. There shouldn't be an F tier to S tier. Uh, it should all be balanced. Do you don't know what the fuck balance means? Like when they do balance changes, and if you're reverting changes, then you didn't try hard when you did it the first time. You didn't try hard enough to actually go back on something that you did or realize that something that you did isn't enough. That's your fault. You didn't do enough rigorous testing to actually get to the point where you were happy with what you put out. You're just doing this to keep the game afloat and to have some other brawlers have their shine, but you don't have any intention of keeping a lot of them that way either. You'll probably just nerf them again. You're not actually balancing them to find their spot. And shit like that really grinds my gears.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, it could just be a big coincidence that these brawlers are literally breaking the meta on all of these modes that they're released, or the ones that they're playing on. Because every mode, if you check the statistics, like these brawlers are at the top on all of these modes, and I think it's crazy. But I know for a fact you were fisting air when you realized Buzz wasn't getting the buff.
Oh, what, Buzz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Buzz needs a buff necessarily, but he needs a rework. I love him, but he gets
Alright,
countered by
here's the
an
thing.
What's up?
He is not playable without his star power. Like I find having a very hard time. Like I have a very very hard time playing Buzz without his star power. Like it's just so stressful.
And let's just not act like the elephant in the room here this whole podcast until you said that. I actually completely forgot that there are two brawlers in the game that do not have a gadget right now. Griff and Buzz, they were released together, and it's been a whole year. They're releasing brawlers on release that have both star powers and both gadgets. And in this update, when you would have thought that they were going to do it, they didn't. So Buzz and Griff are still the only two brawlers in the game that don't have a second gadget, which is, it feels like an attack to me because I love both of them, to be honest. Obviously, I love Buzz a lot more, but I still have hopes that the Buzz rework can appear because insider source was telling me that the reason why Buzz's gadget hasn't been out yet is because the gadget was either so terrible that there was just no reason to use it, or the gadget was way too good and it broke him. And they were struggling to find the balance of what gadget they could put in that would make sense. But that's because Buzz as a brawler has a lot of unfair mechanics, and then he also has a lot of subpar and just really bad situational mechanics where he can't be played on majority of the maps in the game. You probably can't play Buzz on 70% of maps.
100%.
And yeah,
And
no, you could play him.
I found the leak. Buzz and Griff's two gadgets. You think they're worth mentioning?
Oh my god! If it's the one X-ray, is that in there?
Yeah.
Oh god! I can't even believe my fucking ears or my eyes. I guess when I first saw that, it just blew me the fuck away. But I don't even think it's worth mentioning because of how uncreative, and I don't even want to say it and have it actually happen because I don't know. I feel like I have to watch my words very carefully. I think Karma's pissed off at me or something, and he's going to release the Buzz gadget that was actually hinted. But if you guys want to look them up for your own, the Buzz gadget supposed leak is called X-Ray Shades. And once you see it and have any idea of how Buzz's gameplay is and how his character is built, you would realize that it doesn't fucking help him at all. At all. There's no fucking reason to be using that. But I'm not even going to go in on that. And then Griff's gadget is insanely boring, and it is called Coin Shower. But that's for you to search up. I want nothing to do with that. So
Bro, both of these gadgets, they're hella boring, and they're not even original. I mean, when gadgets first came out, you had things like Suplex Supplement, where you could literally throw someone, and then Bull Stomper gadget, you can stop mid super. Those are creative. But then when you come into using gadgets like these, Buzz can see into all bushes. That's already a gadget. That's one of
hey. We're not mentioning these fucking gadgets, bro. No.
have to be. They have to be mentioned. They're just so terrible.
Can't do it. It's disgusting.
They emphasize how lazy Brawl Stars is.
That's you. You got it. You got the floor for a good 3 minutes. I'm gonna go upstairs and get a fucking drink of water because I don't even want to be here for this. And you fucking explain these two gadgets to them.
All right, I got you. So as Buzzy is getting hydrated, I'm gonna fill you guys in. So Buzz X-ray shades, and I'm gonna read it as it quotes. Buzz can see to all bushes for X seconds, and then Griff's other gadget, or no, this is Griff's second gadget, coin shower. Griff's next coin toss shoots X more coins. Now I don't know about you guys, but that is fucking lazy. Like, like how this is just hit bottom. I don't know how down bad Busters has to be to do gadgets this terrible. Carl already has a gadget like this, and I bet that's what everybody was thinking when these were released. It's just terrible. It's just my disappointment is immeasurable. And like I've been humble about it in the past with what Brawl Stars have done with its brawlers and its gadgets. Like I haven't really mentioned it, but now it's getting to that point where something needs to be said, especially by the grand and ultimate lethality. Like when lethality is complaining that something bad is going on with Brawl Stars. Oh, terrible. Like, could they not spend any more time just thinking of a new gadget to be released for these brawlers? It's just pure disappointment. I'm really hoping Buzz is here. Yo, Buzzy, I'm running dry. Are you guys excited for the challenges coming up? Well, let me know in general chat. I'm just kidding. The last one. Yeah, last one was total AIDS. Like, was it like take your kids to work day? Because these maps are fucking terrible. I barely got to the second stage before I got fucked over. Oh man. Like, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I know you guys are too. Like, yeah, the pin was pretty garbage. This jump pads. Okay, yeah, the jump pads were terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I had to constantly be moving. Like it got to the point where you had to bush camp. Oh
All
man.
right, I'm back. How'd it go?
Yo. I think I'm a one-man team. I could carry this podcast through that the entire thing if I wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you think.
Yeah.
Maybe when you start your own. Um,
Fuck no.
yeah, it's for a certain type of personality, and you've done pretty well. So
Thank
you
you.
could
Thank you.
you could if you wanted to, but you also have to have people willing to do it with you.
It's Buzzboy buzzing back at it. Okay, never mind. I can't
Yeah,
do it.
no, it's straight. Don't worry. But so that's everything that happened in this broadside that's worth mentioning. There were some other, tiny things like, okay, that's not true. It's not all that's in this broadside that's worth mentioning. I know everybody that's listening to this up to this point is like, Penny got a whole rework and, Club Quest and like, you guys haven't said shit about it. That's because we were grouping those into multiple podcasts. I should have said that earlier, but next week, recorded on Monday, posted on Tuesday. If you want to listen live, you listen to the server on Monday. Um, and that will be talking about remodels that have happened in the game before. And obviously, Penny is easily the most significant one, but we'll argue that. And those are on the likes of, Pam, Jesse, 8-Bit, or not 8-Bit, Bo, Daryl. There's a lot of brawlers that had significant reworks, but Penny was like everything
I
is
didn't.
so yeah.
I didn't like it. The Jesse remodel was amazing. I'm gonna be
Hey,
honest, but the Penny remodel is just not it.
yeah, nor the time, not the time nor place, but that'll be next week. And the week after that, we will be giving our thoughts on the new quote unquote improved club league. And we'll talk about it, but that'll be for that. And as per our final thoughts for this podcast, I just want to say that Brawl Stars, you are soft. You guys are not willing to actually put some like what do you call it, pep in your step. You're not actually moving with rhythm anymore. It's just like you got two left feet. You don't know what's going on, and people are making fun of you at this point. But somehow they're throwing money at you while they're laughing because you guys seem to think that just because you're making money that the game isn't dying, and it is. My favorite fucking game is dying because you guys are handling it like it's not fucking fragile. And the only reason it's fragile is because you guys let it get to this state. And I have no fucking faith in you guys anymore. Prove me fucking wrong. I fucking beg you. I beg you to do it because I am tired of being given these fucking lackluster, disgusting updates. My boy C Smoke said you could remove every single update they've done for the entire last year and the game would be better. And I completely agree. It's just been a whole year of just train wreck updates. And like, it doesn't seem like they even know what direction to take this game. And if you guys brought it back to, the summer update of last year and just left it at that, you could have survived. You could have been getting way more numbers than you are now. And you could have just went a completely different direction. If you had like a fucking start over button, that's where you start over from. And I really think that you guys don't understand that you actually have to dig back into what the game was like back then and what the community perception of it was back then in order to actually fix the game. But if you are just basing it off of all the yes men at your headquarters and all the yes men in the fucking community posts and comments on your fucking YouTube channel, and if you don't know what a yes man is, it's like a dude that actually just agrees with everything you're doing just because he doesn't want to say you're wrong, or he's just like he's lying, like he talks shit behind your back type shit. Like he's just straight up like, yeah, that's good, that's great, man. Out there, Brawl Stars never fucking disappoints. Look at these guys, like these
Yeah.
motherfuckers, they're everywhere. Fuck.
Oh, I mean, one word to describe this entire update and all the other past ones this year. Half-assed. Is that true or one word? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Frank needs to get off his high horse and realize that his horse is in quicksand. And before he knows it, Brawl Stars is gonna actually fucking die. And on that note, that's why I'm moving back to Clash Royale, baby.
Oh man. Oh my. Oh. Well,
Oh, the
I
variants
don't
are
blame you.
amazing.
I definitely do not blame you, but I don't want to have that same fate where it's like, well, this game's never improving, and obviously I'm here for KTB. I would have probably quit the game a long time ago if I wasn't playing for KTB. But y'all took everything you fucking had from me, and I willingly gave you my heart, and you crushed it. And I don't think that it's even fucking palpitating anymore. And I feel like I am just void of any emotion or connection to this game. Thank you guys for naming a brawler after me, but that's not enough anymore. I'm trying so hard to be the voice that people won't put out there for some reason. I don't know why every Brawl Stars YouTuber is so soft. It feels like it's some like fucking controlled communist China shit. Like, why are people so sensitive? Uh, like Kairos is the only one that's willing to step outside the box, but in a way where he's still technically soft, but people understand. He does it perfectly. He's like straight up like, please fix the game. This is the way my family eats, guys. Please, like, and he's still saying shit, but it's like it's not enough. You got to get your fucking hands dirty for them to actually listen, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why everybody respects Kairos.
100% honest update review. Yes. And I'm gonna be
And
waiting for that one.
Supercell, you broke Buzzy's heart. The one and only Buzzy. And when a puppy like Buzzy has to be barking for an answer, you
Fucking
know your
puppy?
game is bad.
I have no
Yeah.
fucking puppy, man. I'm a fucking lion roaring for answers.
Calm down, Chihuahua. It's okay.
Uh,
I'm probably gonna get muted again.
yeah, you probably will. Actually, it's a good idea.
No,
Finally, say your final word.
no.
Okay, wrap
Um,
it up.
I'm gonna be back. You guys are gonna watch me grow. You're gonna watch my organization go. If you haven't already joined Gaming Works, the upcoming organization, give us a
Oh,
pet. I'm
that's where
kidding.
you got to be.
I'm kidding.
KTB, kick the bucket, kick the box, kick the basket barrel. There's so many things to kick. That's just boring over there. There's too many fucking kickable projectiles here, and we kick them all at Gaming Works. And
At Gaming Works, we don't resort to violence. We don't kick things. We act.
all right, I muted him because he said he doesn't resort to violence, and that's
No,
pretty embarrassing
no,
because
please.
you got to have hands in order to be a leader. So, Lethality and I, our banter is unmatched. We do well together. One day he will join KTB when he stops resisting the necessary change. But for now, this is everything. I've been your host, Buzzy. This was way better than the one we had recorded. I'm so happy we redid it. I'm in a much better mood than I was last night. Peace out, everybody. Join the Discord wherever you can find it. Like, follow, subscribe, comment. I really don't care, but it's cool. And get our watch hours up. We're trying to get that advertisement so I can feed my family.